we have already studied about different properties of ratios and proportions. Now, let's apply these properties to solve some problems. So, we have this question here. Given A by B is equal to C by D. Now, we have to prove that 5A minus 7B by 5A plus 7B is equal to 5C minus 7D by 5C plus 7D. Now, the question arises, how do we know that we need to apply the properties of proportions? And then, how do we know which property of proportion to be applied? So, you have to keep an eye on the question. So, question clearly says that we have been given A by B is equal to C by D. So, we clearly can see that this can be represented as A is to B is equal to C is to D, or A is to B is proportional to C is to D. So, we have this relationship which gives us a hint that we need to apply the properties of ratio and proportion. Also, we have this term here. Now, if you see this term, you will see that we have 5A minus 7B, 5A plus 7B is equal to 5C minus 7D by 5C plus 7D. So, these terms are getting repeated, and also we have the same type of terms getting subtracted and then added. Now, do you remember that in componendo dividendo, what happens is we have A plus B by A minus B is equal to C plus D by C minus D. So, this looks very similar to that. So, from this we get a hint that we may find a solution to this problem if we apply componendo dividendo property. So, let's approach this problem and see how we can solve this problem, that is, solve this equation to get this. So, what is given is that we have A by B is equal to C by D. Now, the first question is that we need to reach here, right? Now, here what do we see? We see that we have 5A, 5C, we also have 7B and 7D. So, we see that both numerators have 5 as their coefficients. Similarly, both denominators have 7 as their coefficients. So, what we can do is, we can multiply both LHS and RHS with 5 by 7. What it will give us is, we will get 5A by 7B is equal to 5C by 7D. So, it is very similar to what we need to prove. So, we have got one step closer to the solution. Now, next is that, as we have noticed earlier, that it looks very similar to componendo dividendo, although it's not exactly like componendo dividendo, but somewhat similar to it. So, first of all, let's apply componendo dividendo and let's see what we get. So, if we apply componendo dividendo, we know that if A is to B is proportional to C is to D, then A plus B is to A minus B is proportional to or equal to C plus D is to C minus D. So, if we apply it here, what do we get? We will get 5A plus 7B by 5A minus 7B. This will be equal to 5C plus 7D by 5C minus 7D. This is what we will get if we apply componendo dividendo. So, we have applied it and this is the equation we get. Now, what do we need to prove? We need to prove 5A minus 7B by 5A plus 7B is equal to 5C minus 7D by 5C plus 7D. So, we have to actually invert these expressions. That is, we need the denominator in the place of numerator and numerator in the place of denominator. And which property of ratio and proportions can help us do that? Well, we know the invertendo property of ratio and proportion. What does it say? It says that if we have A by B is equal to C by D, then we get B by A is equal to D by C. So if we apply invertendo, then the fractions get inversed. So we have 5a minus 7b by 5a plus 7b is equal to 5c minus 7d by 5c plus 7d by applying invertendo property. And this is what we need to prove, isn't it? So how did we prove it? Well, we had a by b is equal to c by d. So first of all, we multiplied both the sides by 5 by 7 because we had 5 and 7 as coefficients. Then we applied componendo dividendo first and then invertendo property to get the final answer. Now let's see another question. Again, we have a question where it states that if 3a plus 2b into 3c minus 2d is equal to 3a minus 2b into 3c plus 2d, we need to prove that a is to b is proportional to c is to d. So again, the question itself gives us hints. First of all, this is about proportion because we have got a is to b is proportional to c is to d. That's what we need to prove. So definitely it's a question about proportions, and what properties of ratio and proportions we need to apply. Well, again we have two terms which are repeating, 3a plus 2b. On this side we have 3a minus 2b. Similarly on this side we have 3c minus 2d, and on this side we have 3c plus 2d, which looks very similar to the componendo dividendo property. So let's start solving this question and let's start applying different properties of ratio and proportions. So what is given? We have 3a plus 2b into 3c minus 2d is equal to 3a minus 2b into 3c plus 2d. Now if we perform cross multiplication, then what do we get? We can bring this here and this here. So what do we get? 3a plus 2b by 3a minus 2b is equal to 3c plus 2d by 3c minus 2d. Now if we apply componendo dividendo on this equation or this proportion, then how do we represent this after applying componendo dividendo? What do you think will be the right answer? Well, let's see. So if we apply componendo dividendo on this and we consider this as x, this is y, this as p, and this as q, then componendo dividendo states that we'll have x plus y by x minus y is equal to p plus q by p minus q. So this will become 3a plus 2b, this plus y is 3a minus 2b, so plus 3a minus 2b, so x plus y by x minus y, so 3a plus 2b minus 3a minus 2b. Now if we come to the RHS, here it will be p plus q by p minus q, so 3c plus 2d plus 3c minus 2d. This will be divided by p minus q, so 3c plus 2d minus 3c minus 2d. Now, why do you think we applied componendo dividendo on this? Because we need to simplify this, and finally we need only A, B, C and D. So once we apply componendo dividendo, then we actually perform lots of additions and subtractions, and so a lot of terms will get cancelled out. So we have this entire thing now. This we get from componendo dividendo. Now the next step is to simplify this. So we remove the brackets. So this is 3a plus 2b. So this can be written directly as 3a plus 2b. We have a plus symbol, so nothing will change even if we open the brackets. So we can write it as plus 3a minus 2b by, again here this bracket can be opened without a problem, 3a plus 2b. After that we have a minus symbol. As a result, when we open this bracket, then we'll have to perform multiplication of positive and negative. So minus into plus 3a will be what? Minus 3a. Minus into plus is always minus, and minus into minus is always plus. So minus into minus 2b will be plus 2b. Now let's come to this side. So we have on this side 3c plus 2d plus 3c minus 2d. This will be divided by 3c plus 2d. Again we have a minus sign. So when we open this bracket, then minus into plus 3c will be minus 3c, and minus into minus 2d will be plus 2d. Now we have this entire expression. Now let's start from here. So here we have plus 2b and minus 2b. So they get cancelled. Now in the denominator we have plus 3a and minus 3a. So even they get cancelled out. And on this side we have plus 2d and minus 2d. Similarly we have plus 3c and minus 3c. So what are we left with? Here on the LHS we have 3a plus 3a, which is 6a, and we have 2b plus 2b, 4b. So 6a by 4b on the LHS, and we have 3c plus 3c, that is 6c, by 2d plus 2d, that is 4d. So 6c by 4d on the RHS. So what do we get? 6a by 4b is equal to 6c by 4d. Now 6 by 4 is common on both the sides, so we can cancel it out. So what are we left with? A by b is equal to c by d, which can be written as a is to b is proportional to c is to d, and that's what we needed to prove. So this is how you need to understand the question first, and you need to identify what type of property needs to be applied to get a solution to such problems. And once you have identified type of property and you have applied it, then you will definitely get the required solution. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. You can also register for free at DeltaStep.com to get all learning resources as per ICSE, CBSE, IB, Cambridge or any other curriculum. Over 5,000 amazing lectures across maths, science, English and social science. Our unique interactive video technology keeps you engaged, and our iDictionary feature allows you to quickly revise any concept. Master each topic at your own pace with our adaptive practice technology and 1 million plus questions. Get instant answers and detailed solutions.
Be exam ready by taking unlimited mock tests, performance analysis along with actionable feedback, personal tutors to resolve your slightest of doubts. That's not all. You also get amazing prizes like PlayStations, iPads, watches, and many more, along with certificates through our Earn As You Learn program. So at deltastep.com, learning is not just fun and easy, it's rewarding too. So register for free now.